"Hey, babe," I said, walking into the kitchen. "You're up early? Couldn't sleep?" Emily glanced over her shoulder, brushing her hair out of her face. "Just going over the final checklist. The florist still hasn't confirmed the centerpieces." Chuckled, leaning against the counter. "You've checked it 5 times already?" She forced a smile. "Yeah, I know. Just want it to be perfect." I stepped closer and kissed her cheek. "It already is. I'm marrying you next week. That's all I care about." She didn't say anything. Her body tensed slightly, just for a second, then relaxed again. "I'm just nervous, that's all." Claire strolled in moments later, holding a coffee. "Morning, lovebirds." "You two arguing about napkin colors again?" I laughed. She stressed. "You'd think she's marrying the president, not me." Claire smirked. "Well, you do have presidential hair." Melly gave her sister a dry look. "Can you not?" Claire blinked. "KG's. Someone's moody this morning." Emily turned back to the counter. "Just tired. Big week ahead." Claire leaned toward me and whispered, "She's been acting weird, huh?" I glanced at her, uneasy. "You noticed it too?" She nodded slowly. More distant, like she's somewhere else. Looked back at Emily. She was fussing with her phone now, typing quickly, brows furrowed. "She says she's just nervous." Claire shrugged. "Maybe, but you don't look nervous when you smile at your phone like that." I didn't know how to respond, so I laughed it off. "You're reading too much into it," Claire studied. "Me. Just don't ignore your gut." It's the rest of the day. Blurred bitucks, fitting seating charts, calls from my mom. Emily barely spoke. When she did, it was short, mechanical. That night, we sat on the couch. I tried to cuddle her, but she shifted away slightly. "You okay?" I asked quietly. "Yeah, just overwhelmed," she replied, her eyes on her screen. "You sure?" She turned to me then, smiled faintly. "I love you, you know." "I know," I said, but something inside me tightened. Her words didn't feel warm. They felt rehearsed. She got up and went to the bedroom. I stared at the blank TV screen, questions circling my mind. Why did it feel like I was losing her when I hadn't even married her yet? Claire's words echoed again. "Don't ignore your gut." I didn't want to. But I also didn't want to believe. What it was trying to tell me, a week from now, I was supposed to be her husband? I just didn't realize how much that promise was already broken. "Hey, where's my phone?" Emily called from the hallway. "It's on the nightstand," I yelled back. I looked over. Her phone buzzed just as I reached for it. One message lit up the screen. "Liam, last night meant everything. I miss you already." Froze. The air around me thickened. My heart punched my ribs. "Did you find it?" she asked, walking in. I turned, keeping my face straight. "Yeah, here." She took it quickly, her fingers clenching tighter than necessary. "You okay?" I asked, casually. "Just tired," she mumbled. "A lot on my mind." I nodded. Yeah. "Big day coming up?" She forced a smile. "Exactly." I wanted to scream, demand answers. But I teared instead. I kissed her forehead. "I'll grab coffee." In the car, my hand shook around the steering wheel, kept seeing that message. Last night? What last night? Where was she? I dialed Claire. "Hey, what's up?" She answered. "Emily said she stayed at your place the night before last." "True?" She'd paused. "No, she didn't." "Why?" I swallowed hard. "No reason. Just checking something." "Wait, what's going on?" "Nothing. I'll talk to you later." I hung up. Claire didn't lie. She had no reason to. But Emily, she did. She did it so easily. I got back home and found her on the couch. "Did you sleep okay last night?" I asked. "Yeah," she said. Without looking at me, dreamed about the wedding, sat across from her. "That's sweet. You excited?" She glanced up. Of course, I stared at her. "You sure?" She laughed lightly. "Why are you asking me that again?" "'Cause you seem distant." "I told you, I'm just stressed." I nodded. "Right, I wanted to ask. Was it worth it? Did he hold you the way I did? Did he tell you lies sweeter than my truth?" But I held it in. Later that evening, I watched her scroll through her phone, her lips curled slightly, Was it him? Was she texting Liam again? Who are you talking to? I asked. She looked up, startled. No one. Just checking the guest list. You smiled, I said quietly. She blinked. I did. She stood. I'm going to shower. When the door closed behind her, I grabbed her phone locked. Of course I clenched it in my palm, debating. Then I set it down. If I was going to confront her, I needed more than a message. I needed truth, undeniable, unshakable truth. I couldn't believe I was thinking this, but I had to know for sure. The woman I was about to marry may not even belong to me anymore. The woman I gave my heart to may have given her body to someone else, and the worst part, she wasn't even trying to hide it. Do you ever wonder, I said, breaking the silence, if we're rushing into this? Emily looked up from her tablet. What? The wedding? I said, trying to keep my voice steady. It's coming fast. Maybe we haven't had time to really think. She blinked at me, confused. Where is this coming from? I shrugged. I've been feeling a little off lately. Like something's changed. Emily tucked a strand of hair behind her ear. You're getting cold feet? Maybe, I said, studying her face. Are you? She opened her mouth, paused. No, I mean no. Of course not. That hesitation. That stutter. It rang louder than a confession. Emily, if there's anything bothering you, I continued, this is the time to be honest. She forced a laugh. You're being weird. Is this because I've been quiet? A little, I admitted. But it's more than that. You're distant. You smile at your phone more than you do at me. She stiffened. That's not fair. Maybe not, but is it true? Her lips parted, then closed again. She looked away. I don't want to fight. I'm not fighting, I said calmly. I'm asking. She stood up, grabbing her phone from the table. I need air. Watched her leave. No apology, no denial. Just escape. Claire found me on the back patio half an hour later, staring into the yard. You look like someone just ran over your dog, she said, handing me a glass of water. I cracked a smile. It's nothing. Liar, she replied softly. You've been acting weird for 2 days. I stayed silent. Claire sat beside me. Is it Emily? I hesitated. I don't know what it is. She's off, Claire said. I've seen her sneak off to take calls, and she's been deleting messages after. My stomach twisted. You saw that? Yeah, she said, watching me carefully. I didn't want to say anything, but something doesn't feel right. I let out a slow breath. I found a message. Claire turned fully toward me. From who, Liam? Her eyes widened. Are you serious? I nodded. 3 days ago. Said last night meant everything. Claire's jaw tightened. Did you confront her? Not directly. I asked questions, let her talk. She stumbled over herself. Claire was quiet for a beat. What are you going to do? I don't know, but I'm not exploding. Not yet. I want the truth to come. Out her truth. In her own words. Claire nodded slowly. You're stronger than I'd be. I'm just tired, I said. Tired of pretending everything's fine? Claire touched my arm lightly. If you need anything, I'm here. I looked at her. Thanks. That means more than you know. She gave me a sad smile. You don't deserve this. You're always too good to her? I didn't reply. I just stared out into the fading light. Let her keep talking, I thought. Let her build the lie high enough, so when it all comes crashing down, it's her own weight that buries her. I love you, Emily said softly, brushing her fingers against my arm. I stared at her. Yeah, she nodded. With everything in me, I wanted to believe her. God, I really did. But my heart was numb. You've been acting different lately, I said. She smiled faintly. Stress, you know how much I want this wedding to be perfect? Right, I replied, trying not to glance at her bag across the room. She leaned in and kissed my cheek. You don't need to worry so much. That die. Forced a smile. I'll try. Later, when she went into the shower, I walked over to her purse. My hands trembled as I opened the side pocket. A folded receipt sat inside. Blue Orchid Hotel. 1 night, 2 guests. Date. 3 nights ago, The same night I was out buying her a custom bracelet, a gift for the woman I thought I was going to marry. The final nail. I set the receipt back exactly how I found it. She walked out moments later, toweled around her hair. "You okay?" she asked, drying her face. "Yeah," I said. "Just thinking." "About us," she smiled. "You're getting emotional. You always do right before big moments." "Guess so?" She came closer and wrapped her arms around me. "I can't wait to be your wife." I didn't move. "Say it again." "What?" "What?" "You love me?" "I love you," she whispered. But I heard nothing behind it. No warmth, no guilt. Just a line she'd practiced too many times, and I was done. "I'm heading out," I said, pulling away. "Where to?" "Nowhere important." She looked confused but didn't press. I walked out, each step colder than the last. Claire picked. "Up on the second ring? You free?" I asked. "Yeah. Are you okay?" "I need to talk to someone who won't lie to me." She paused. "Come over." As I drove, one thought looped in my head. She said she loved me. Right after a night with him, she chose the lie. She made the bed. Now she'd get to lie in it. But I wouldn't be the one crying. She would. "You look like hell," Claire said as she opened her apartment door. "I feel worse," I muttered, stepping inside. She handed me a blanket. "Couch okay?" "Yeah, I'm not here to crash your night." She cut me off. "Don't explain. Just sit." I dropped onto the couch and rubbed my face. My chest felt like it was caving in. Claire sat beside me. "So what happened?" I looked at her, and for a second, I didn't know where to start. "She lied," I said finally. Straight to my face. Claire didn't blink. "About Liam?" I nodded. "She told me she loved me. Right after she spent a night with him." Claire's breath hitched. "You're sure?" I pulled the hotel receipt from my jacket pocket and handed it to her. She stared at it. 3 nights Agash told me she was staying with Mom. "She told me she was at your place," I said flatly. Claire's eyes welled up. "I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I swear." "I believe you," I whispered. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Claire finally broke the silence. "She doesn't deserve you." I let out a bitter laugh. "Apparently not. But I still plan to give her everything." She shook her head. "You always loved her more than she ever deserved." "I was buying her a wedding gift," I said. Quietly, while she was in a hotel with him. Claire's hand found mine. "It kills me." "I didn't come here to cry," I said, wiping my eyes anyway. Claire smiled sadly. "Then let's not cry. Let's talk." And we did. About everything. About how Emily changed. About how long Claire had noticed. About the moment I stopped. Feeling like I knew the woman I was about to marry. "I always thought she took you for granted," Claire said. "But I didn't think she'd go this far." "I'm done pretending," I said. "No more playing dumb." "So what now?" Looked at her. Now let her fall. But on her own lies? Claire squeezed my hand. "You don't have to go through this alone." I studied her face. She meant it. Not out of pity. Out of something real. That night, we stayed up until the sky turned gray. No kisses. No crossed lines. Just truth. Just 2 broken people sitting in the quiet between betrayal and whatever came next. And somewhere in that quiet, a wild idea began to take shape. Not revenge, not cruelty, something poetic. Emily opened the door, eyes puffy, holding a cup of coffee. "You didn't come home last night?" "I know," I said calmly. "We need to talk." She stepped aside. "I've been freaking out. You just disappeared? What's going on?" Didn't sit. "The wedding's off." She blinked. "What? You heard me?" Her voice cracked. "Wait, what? Why? What are you talking about?" I stared at her. "You lied, Emily, about where you were, about who you were with." "I didn't," she stuttered. "I didn't lie. Stop," I said sharply. I saw the message, found the hotel receipt. Her face turned pale. "You went through my stuff?" "I wasn't looking for it," I said. "It fell out of your purse." "That's invasion of privacy," she snapped. I tilted my head. You cheated? You're angry I found out? She took a step forward. I didn't cheat. I pulled the receipt from my pocket and held it up. Blue Orchid, nights ago. Same night you said you were at Claire's? Her eyes darted, desperate. That wasn't what it looked like. You were with Liam. She hesitated. Say it, I demanded. Say his name, okay? She yelled. Yes. It was Liam. But it was a mistake. I didn't plan it. Claire walked in then. She stood behind me, arms crossed. Emily's eyes widened. What is she doing here? She knows, I said. She knew something was off long before I did. Emily's voice rose. No. So you run to my sister now? What is this revenge? You're punishing me by dragging her into it. Claire stayed. Quiet. No, Emily, I said. You punished yourself. I'm just finally done protecting you from consequences. Do you think you're so noble? She hissed. You think you're better than me? I didn't answer. You're pathetic. She said, calling off our wedding over one mistake? After everything I did for us? You did this for yourself? I said. The dress, the venue, the show. It was never about us. It was about how perfect you wanted it to look. She stared at me, eyes glassy. You're making a scene over. Something I already regret. This isn't a scene, I said. It's reality. And it's finally yours to deal with. Claire stepped beside me then. Just stood there. Solid. Calm. Emily scoffed. So what now? You think she's better than me? She didn't lie to me, I said. She didn't sell love while sleeping. With the past, Emily's lip trembled. You'll regret this. No, I said, opening the door. You will. She didn't follow. Oh. She didn't beg. She just stood there, holding a cup of coffee, looking small for the first time in her life, and all I felt was free. You canceled the wedding? Emily's mom barked the second I walked into their living room. Her dad stood behind her, arms folded. What kind of man leaves a woman like that days before the ceremony? I stayed calm. Ask your daughter. Why? Emily sat on the couch, red-eyed, playing the victim role flawlessly. I told them you just panicked. Cold feet. I looked at her. You left out Liam? Her mom frowned. What does Liam have to do with this? Claire stepped in. From the hallway, everything, Emily snapped. Claire, stay out of this. No, Claire said firmly. They should hear the truth. Emily's dad narrowed his eyes. Claire, if you're going to defend him, I'm not defending anyone, Claire said. I'm telling you what happened. Emily cheated. With Liam, days ago? Silence, her mother shook her head. That's ridiculous. Claire turned to me. Show them. I pulled out the receipt and handed it to Emily's dad. Check the date. Blue Orchid Hotel. 2 guests. He stared at it, jaw tightening. Emily. She stood up. I made a mistake. I told him I regretted it. You told me nothing, I said. You lied. You blamed me. You only started crying after you got caught. Her mom looked like she'd been slapped. How could you? I didn't think he'd find out. Emily shouted. It didn't mean anything. Claire scoffed. But you're unbelievable. Emily turned to her. Oh, like you're so perfect. What, now you're his cheerleader? I know, Claire said coldly. I'm just done covering for you. Emily's dad looked at me. Why didn't you come to us first? Because I didn't need validation, I replied. I needed the truth, and I got it. Claire stepped closer to me. He deserves better. You all know it. Emily looked between us, voice rising. So what now? You two just gang up on me? This isn't about revenge, I said. It's about finally ending the performance. Her mom sat down, stunned. All this time, and you were the one cheating? Emily crossed her arms. He would have gotten over it. Claire laughed bitterly. He doesn't get over betrayal, like you do. Her dad dropped the receipt on the coffee table. This is disgraceful. Emily pointed at me. You were never strong enough to handle someone like me. I nodded. You're right. Everyone turned to me. I wasn't strong enough, but I am now. Claire glanced over. I caught at the look. It wasn't pity. It was pride. And in that, moment I knew she saw me for who I really was, not just who Emily pretended to love. "You're staring at me again," Claire said, glancing up from her coffee. "Maybe I like what I see," I replied. She smirked. "You didn't drag me here just to flirt, did you?" I took a breath. "Wait. No, I dragged you here because I need to say something." Claire leaned back, eyes narrowing playfully. Should I be nervous? Probably. She raised a brow. "Okay, shoot." I reached into my jacket and pulled out a small velvet box. Her face froze. "Wait, what is that?" "It's... What do you think it is?" She blinked. "You're joking." "I'm not." Claire looked stunned. "We haven't even... Are you serious?" "I am." She stared at me, eyes wide. "You're asking me to marry you?" "Yes." "After what happened with Emily? After everything? Especially after everything?" She swallowed hard. "This isn't a rebound?" "No. A revenge." "Stunt." I hesitated, not entirely. Her expression shifted. "Wow." I leaned forward. "Claire, you were there when I had no one. You didn't lie to me. You didn't pretend. You didn't ask me to be someone I'm not." She looked down. "I don't want to be someone's second choice." "You're not," I said. "You're my first honest choice." She was quiet for a long moment. "I never imagined this." "Neither did I said. "But maybe that's why it feels right." She laughed softly, nervously. "Insane. Probably. Do you even love me?" she asked. "I'm falling," I said, "and it doesn't feel forced." Claire stared at the ring box. "It's too soon, maybe. We'll be the center of gossip for years." "Probably you're impossible," she muttered. "But am I wrong?" She looked at me again, softer this time. "You're not?" I opened the box. "Say?" "Yes." She took a deep breath. "You're sure?" "I'm sure about you." Claire's eyes shimmered. Okay, she smiled. "Yes." Just like that, everything changed. Claire's door shook under the pounding. I opened it. Emily stumbled in, eyes wild, the stench of vodka on her breath. "You disgusting traitors." Claire stood from the couch. "Emily, don't," she shrieked. "Don't Emily me." I stepped in front of Claire. "You need to calm down." "Shut up," she yelled. "You think marrying my sister makes you a man?" "You cheated, Emily," I said flatly. She pointed a shaky finger at me. "You were supposed to forgive me?" "For what?" I asked. "For lying? For sneaking around with Liam while I bought you a ring?" Claire whispered. "Maybe you should sit. Don't talk to me like I'm some fragile freak." Emily barked. "You stole him." "No one stole anything," Claire replied quietly. "You threw him away." Emily shoved past me. "You're trash," she spat. "You always were, hiding behind your good guy mask." I stared at her. "You really believe that? You think you're better than me?" I pulled my phone out, opened the message. "Read it aloud." "Last night meant everything. I miss you already." That's what Liam wrote. Her face crumpled. I pulled the hotel receipt from my wallet. Blue Orchid Hotel, room 47. "That night you said you were with Claire." "Made a mistake?" she sobbed. "No," I said. "You made a choice." She turned to Claire. "And you just swooped in, didn't you?" Like a vulture. Claire didn't flinch. "I didn't plan any of this," Emily screamed. "You were jealous of me your whole life." "I was tired of watching you hurt people and get away with it," Claire said. Emily dropped onto the floor, tears streaming. "You humiliated me." "No," I said. "You did that to yourself. I just stopped protecting the lie." "Oh, shit." She looked up at me. "I loved you." "No," I said quietly. "You loved control, not me." Emily hugged her knees. Trembling, "I have nothing now." I looked down at her. For the first time I felt nothing. No pity, no anger, just peace. "You ready?" Claire asked, fixing my tie with shaking hands. I smiled. "Only if you are." She laughed nervously. "I still can't believe this is happening." "Me neither," I said. "But somehow, it feels right." The ceremony was small. A handful of close friends. No fancy decor. No grand entrance. Just a quiet garden, vows written by hand, and the kind of silence that made your heart feel full. Claire glanced around. "Think anyone expected this?" I shrugged. "Probably." "Not but I'm done living for other people's expectations. She looked up at me. Even your own? I held her gaze, especially my own. The officiant cleared his throat. Shall we begin? We nodded. As we exchanged vows, I saw the shimmer in Claire's eyes. She meant every word, not perfect promises. Just honest ones. I don't care where we live or what we own, she said softly. I just want to keep building something that's real. I've had fake, I replied. This is what I never knew I needed. The rings were simple. Gold bands, no diamonds, no symbols, just commitment. You may kiss the bride. The officiant said. I kissed her. And for the first time in a long time, it didn't feel like I was pretending to be happy. After the ceremony, we sat on a bench under a tree. Claire leaned her head on my shoulder. You didn't invite her? No, I said. Emily doesn't get to witness this. She nodded. I heard Liam dumped her, muttered. Karma tends to run late, but it always shows up. Claire turned toward me. You feel free? I paused. Yeah, not just from her. From the version of me that kept settling for half-love. She took my hand. You deserve more than crumbs. So do you, I said. We both do. Watch the wind ripple through the leaves. No drama, no secrets. Just two people who'd been broken, choosing to heal together. And for once, I didn't feel like I had to win anything. I'd already won. Can you believe it? Claire said, squeezing my hand as we watched the last of our guests wave goodbye. No, I said, smiling. Not even a little. She nudged me. You didn't think we'd make it this far? I didn't think I'd make it at all. Claire tilted her head. I mean emotionally or both, I said. There were nights I thought the betrayal would break me. She was quiet for a second. You never let me see how deep it cut. I couldn't, I whispered. If I did, I don't think I would have stood back up. Claire turned toward me fully. You did more than stand up, walked away with. Your dignity. After dragging it through glass, I said with a small laugh. She smiled. Still counts. Looked around at the quiet garden. This isn't how I imagined my life. But she asked, it's better, I said. Realer. Claire nodded. Do you still think about her? Sometimes, I admitted. Not with anger. Just disbelief. How close I came to giving. My whole life. To someone who never truly saw me. I saw you, Claire said gently. You did, I whispered. Even when I didn't want to be seen. She looked at me. Was I just a safe place to land? No, I said, locking eyes. With her, you were the reason I got back up. Claire blinked back emotion. You don't have to romanticize it. I'm not, I said. You stood with me when everyone else was faking loyalty. You told the truth when lies were easier. She looked down. I was scared. So was I said. But maybe that's what makes it real. Claire sighed. Do you think she regrets it, Emily? I asked. Yeah, but not because she lost me. Because she lost control. Claire's eyes narrowed. You always read people better than you admit. I learned the hard way, I replied. But I wouldn't trade it. She smiled. Even the pain, I said. Because it brought me here. Claire rested her head on my shoulder. You know what I've always admired? About you? What? You didn't take revenge? You let the truth be enough? I exhaled. It was hard, but I wanted peace more than I wanted war. And now, she whispered. Now I finally have both. I sat in silence as the sky shifted from gold to dusk. She looked up at me. So happy ending. I chuckled. Not perfect, but honest. And that's more than I ever had before. Claire smiled. This is what you deserved. I held her hand tighter. No, Claire. This is what we deserved.